Did you know that a staggering 80% of women believe they need to change themselves to be truly loved? That's a staggering statistic. It reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of male-female dynamics and the raw power of human nature. We're diving deep into the intricate dance of attraction, uncovering the often overlooked aspects of what truly draws men to women. But this isn't about manipulation or trickery. It's about understanding the subtle cues, the unspoken desires that make a man see a woman and think, she's different, she gets me. Over the next few chapters, we're going to unpack 10 female weaknesses that, when understood and navigated correctly, can become powerful magnets of attraction. These aren't flaws to be ashamed of, but rather opportunities to create deeper connections, spark primal desire, and build lasting, fulfilling relationships. Get ready to see these dynamics in a whole new light, because understanding them can be the key to unlocking a world of romantic possibilities.
We live in a world that constantly tells women they need to be perfect, flawlessly beautiful, incredibly successful, and always holding it all together. It's no wonder so many women battle self-doubt and imposter syndrome. They feel like they're not enough, constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. Here's the irony. This perceived vulnerability, when managed authentically, can be incredibly endearing to a man. Why? Because it creates an opportunity for him to step in and be her rock, her source of reassurance.
When a man can offer comfort and validation, when he can quiet those negative voices in her head, he feels an overwhelming sense of purpose. It taps into his innate desire to protect and provide. So, how does a man navigate this delicate terrain? By recognizing that her self-doubt isn't a weakness to be fixed, but a chance to offer genuine support and remind her of her incredible worth.
Imagine a woman accomplished in her career yet plagued by self-doubt. She receives a prestigious award, but instead of celebrating, she downplays her achievement, attributing it to luck.
Now, picture a man who, instead of joining in her self-deprecation, takes her hand, looks into her eyes, and says, "I'm so incredibly proud of you. You worked your butt off for this, and you deserve all the recognition you're receiving."
That, gentlemen, is how you turn a moment of vulnerability into a powerful connection point. By acknowledging her feelings without enabling them, by reminding her of her strength and capability, you become the man who sees her, all of her, and loves her even more for it.
It's about being her safe space, the one person who reminds her of her brilliance even when she struggles to see it herself. This is how you build unshakable confidence and create a bond that runs far deeper than surface-level attraction.
Have you ever noticed how often women apologize, even for the smallest things? It's almost as if they're preemptively apologizing for taking up space, for having needs and desires.
This constant need to apologize can be misconstrued as a lack of confidence, a diminishing of their own value. Now, a man who understands the dynamics at play can use this to his advantage, not in a manipulative way, but as a way to further highlight his own strength and understanding.
When a woman constantly apologizes, it creates an opportunity for a man to step in and say, "Hey, it's really okay. You have nothing to be sorry for." This seemingly simple act can be incredibly powerful.
It communicates that he's not intimidated by her, that he accepts her fully, even with her perceived flaws. This is about creating a safe space for her to be her authentic self, free from the pressure of constantly needing to apologize.
Imagine a scenario where a woman is running late for a date. She arrives flustered, apologizing profusely for the delay, even if it was due to circumstances beyond her control.
A man who understands the power of this dynamic might respond with, "Hey, don't worry about it at all. I'm just glad you're here now. Let's enjoy our time together."
By brushing off the apology, he's not condoning lateness, but rather, he's communicating that her presence is what truly matters. He's showing her that she doesn't need to shrink herself or diminish her worth in his eyes.
This approach creates a dynamic of safety and acceptance. She begins to realize that she doesn't have to constantly apologize for who she is or for the minor missteps that life throws her way. This in turn fosters a deeper sense of connection and allows her to relax into her true, unapologetic self.
Perfectionism. It's a tricky beast. On the surface, it might seem like a strength, something admirable, but let me tell you, it can be a real passion killer.
When a woman is caught in the clutches of perfectionism, she's constantly striving for an impossible standard, always feeling like she's falling short. Now here's where you come in, gents.
Instead of feeding into this pressure, you have a unique opportunity to flip the script. Show her the beauty in imperfection. Let her see that those little quirks, those supposed flaws, are actually what make her uniquely captivating.
Remember, a woman who feels comfortable enough to let her guard down, to be her authentic self, is infinitely more attractive than one who's hiding behind a mask of perfection.
So encourage her to loosen the reins, to embrace the messy, imperfect reality of life. Because in those moments of vulnerability, you'll find a depth of connection that you won't find anywhere else.
Think about it. What's more attractive? Someone who's constantly criticizing themselves or someone who can laugh at their mistakes and move on?
Exactly.
When you embrace her imperfections, you're not just accepting her flaws, you're showing her that she's worthy of love and acceptance exactly as she is. This kind of validation is incredibly powerful. It chips away at the walls of insecurity that perfectionism builds and allows her to step into her true self.
And trust me, a woman who feels seen and appreciated for who she truly is a woman who's going to be drawn to you like a moth to a flame. So the next time she's beating herself up over a small mistake, be the one who reminds her that it's okay, that it doesn't diminish her worth.
Be the one who finds the humor in the situation, who encourages her to laugh it off. Remember, your acceptance can be the key that unlocks a new level of confidence within her, and that, my friends, is incredibly attractive.
Let's talk about boundaries, gentlemen. Specifically, the struggle many women face when it comes to setting and maintaining them. You see, some women have a tendency to overextend themselves, to say yes to every request, even when their gut is screaming no.
This often stems from a desire to please, to be seen as helpful and accommodating. But constantly putting others' needs before their own can leave a woman feeling drained, resentful, and ultimately undervalued.
That's where you come in. By recognizing this pattern, you have the opportunity to be the man who respects her limits, who encourages her to prioritize her own well-being.
Pay attention to how she responds when you ask for her time or energy. Does she hesitate? Does she seem reluctant but agree anyway? These could be signs that she's struggling to set those crucial boundaries.
Now, I'm not saying you should be looking for ways to catch her out or make her uncomfortable. This is about being attuned to her needs and creating a space where she feels safe to express them.
When you sense she might be overextending herself, gently offer her an out. Instead of, "Are you free this weekend?" Try, "I know you're busy, so no pressure, but if you're free this weekend, I'd love to."
By giving her permission to decline without guilt, you're showing her that you value her time and respect her choices.
And here's the powerful thing about supporting a woman in setting boundaries. It communicates that you see her, not just as someone who's there to please, but as an individual with her own desires and limitations.
This kind of understanding and respect is like a breath of fresh air. It allows her to relax, to be her authentic self, and ultimately, to feel more deeply connected to you.
Let's talk about conflict, gentlemen. It's an inevitable part of any relationship, but it doesn't have to be a negative one. In fact, handled correctly, conflict can be an opportunity for growth, deeper understanding, and a stronger bond.
Now, many women have been conditioned to avoid conflict at all costs. They might worry about rocking the boat, seeming difficult, or damaging the relationship. This often stems from a desire to maintain harmony and avoid confrontation.
However, Constantly suppressing their feelings can lead to resentment and bottled-up emotions, which ultimately harm the connection. This is where your role as a man becomes crucial.
By understanding this fear and approaching conflict with empathy and understanding, you can create a safe space for her to express herself honestly and openly.
Remember, the goal is not to win the argument or prove your point. It's about listening to understand her perspective, validating her feelings, and finding a resolution that works for both of you.
When conflict arises, approach it with a calm and collected demeanor. Avoid raising your voice or getting defensive. Instead, focus on expressing your own feelings clearly and respectfully without blaming or accusing.
For example, instead of saying, "You're overreacting," try, "I understand that you're upset, and I want to hear what's bothering you." This simple shift in language can make a world of difference in diffusing tension and creating a safe space for dialogue.
When you demonstrate emotional maturity and a willingness to work through disagreements constructively, you're showing her that conflict doesn't have to be a threat to the relationship. In fact, it can be an opportunity to strengthen your bond and deepen your understanding of each other.
Now, gentlemen, let's talk about self-care. Many amazing women struggle with this. They often forget to take care of themselves, and that's where you come in.
Encourage her to prioritize self-care. It's not just about bubble baths and face masks. Show her you value her well-being.
Suggest activities to de-stress and recharge. Maybe it's yoga, a getaway, or reading a book.
A woman who feels good can conquer the world.
Now, it's one thing to tell a woman she deserves to be pampered, but it's another thing entirely to show her. Actions, as they say, speak louder than words. So how can you actively demonstrate your support for her self-care? Start by being mindful of her time and commitments.
If she's feeling overwhelmed, offer to help out with tasks or errands. Even small gestures, like cooking dinner or taking care of the grocery shopping, can make a world of difference. Another powerful way to encourage self-care is to lead by example. Make sure you're prioritizing your own well-being and demonstrate healthy habits.
When she sees you taking care of yourself, it sends a powerful message that self-care is important and valued. Remember, gentlemen, supporting a woman's self-care is not about fixing her or solving her problems. It's about creating a space where she feels safe, supported, and empowered to prioritize her own well-being. And that, my friends, is the foundation of a strong and healthy relationship.
Let's be honest, fellas. Sometimes the women we're drawn to have a terrible habit of underselling themselves. They downplay their accomplishments, minimize their strengths, and struggle to see their own worth. But it also creates an opportunity for you to step up.
When a woman undervalues herself, it's often because she hasn't had someone who truly sees her. Someone who can hold up a mirror and reflect back her amazing qualities. That's where you come in. By recognizing and celebrating her strengths, you help her see herself in a new light.
Now, highlighting her brilliance isn't just about showering her with compliments. It's about actively looking for opportunities to champion her. Encourage her to pursue her passions, celebrate her successes, and be her biggest cheerleader when she faces challenges.
If she's hesitant to go after a promotion at work, remind her of all the times she's gone above and beyond. If she's nervous about sharing her creative work with the world, be the first person to offer your support and encouragement. Remember, your belief in her can be the very thing that gives her the courage to step into her power.
When she feels seen and valued for who she truly is, it can be transformative. Suddenly, she starts to see herself as capable, worthy, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. And that, my friends, is an incredibly attractive quality. A woman who knows her worth is a force to be reckoned with. So be the man who helps her unleash that power.
Encourage her to embrace her individuality and to make choices that align with her own values and desires, not just what others expect of her. When she's feeling insecure or doubtful, remind her of her inherent value. Let her know that you appreciate her for who she is, quirks and all. Show her that her worthiness doesn't depend on external approval. You can do this by being a source of unwavering support and acceptance. It also prevents her from fully embracing her authentic self. Your role here is to help her break free from those chains of validation. Now, gentlemen, it's natural to want to be liked and appreciated. But when a woman's happiness hinges on the opinions of others, it can be exhausting for everyone involved. They crave approval from others, constantly seeking affirmation from friends, family, even strangers. It's like they're looking for permission to be themselves. Let's talk about a trap many incredible women fall into: the endless pursuit of external validation.
Empowering her inner compass means helping her to trust her own judgment. Encourage her to listen to her intuition, to make decisions that feel right for her.
It's about living a life that feels authentic and true to herself. When she prioritizes her own needs, you'll see a shift in her energy.
She'll become more confident and radiant. She'll no longer be held back by fear of judgment.
This freedom will be evident in all areas of her life. She'll take risks and pursue her passions confidently.
Have you ever noticed how often women take on the lion's share of responsibility? Whether it's at home, at work, or in relationships, they often feel obligated to shoulder the weight of the world.
This tendency to overfunction can stem from societal expectations, ingrained beliefs, or simply a desire to please. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with being responsible. In fact, it's an admirable quality.
However, when a woman consistently takes on too much, it can lead to burnout, resentment, and an imbalance in the relationship. She may feel overwhelmed, unappreciated, and like she's carrying the entire load.
This is where you come in.
Start by noticing when she's stretched thin. Is she constantly juggling multiple tasks, working late hours, or neglecting her own needs?
If so, it's time to initiate a conversation. Express your concern and let her know that you want to help lighten her load.
Remember, offering help isn't about taking over or diminishing her capabilities. It's about being a true partner, someone who shares in both the joys and the responsibilities of life.
Suggest dividing household chores more evenly, taking turns running errands, or simply offering a listening ear when she needs to vent.
By actively taking on some of her responsibilities, you not only provide practical support but also communicate a powerful message. You value her well-being and you're invested in creating a balanced and harmonious partnership.
This act of sharing the load, of being there for her in both big and small ways, is a powerful testament to your love and commitment. It's about creating a space where she feels supported, cherished, and empowered to thrive.
Let's face it, stepping outside of one's comfort zone can be daunting for anyone.
But for women, societal pressures and expectations can often amplify this fear, making them more risk-averse.
They might hesitate to pursue their dreams, speak their minds, or embrace new experiences, holding themselves back from reaching their full potential.
This reluctance to take risks might manifest as a fear of failure, a need for absolute certainty, or a desire to avoid judgment or criticism.
While these feelings are perfectly natural, they can become roadblocks to growth, excitement, and fulfillment.
This is where you, as a man who understands the power of vulnerability and growth, can make a difference.
By encouraging her to embrace challenges and step outside of her comfort zone, you become a source of strength, inspiration, and unwavering support.
Start by fostering an environment of trust and encouragement.
Celebrate her successes and provide support if she stumbles.
True growth happens outside the comfort zone.
Encourage her to explore her passions and dreams.
Break down goals into manageable steps.
Lead by example.
Share your experiences of overcoming challenges.
Embrace the unknown together.
We've explored 10 common female weaknesses that men can leverage not to exploit, but to understand and connect with women on a deeper level. Remember, the goal is not to manipulate or take advantage, but to foster genuine connection, respect, and mutual growth. By understanding these vulnerabilities, you can tailor your approach to dating and relationships in a way that makes women feel seen, heard, and valued. It's about being the man who uplifts, empowers, and inspires the women in your life to embrace their authentic selves. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these weaknesses resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insightful videos on human nature and relationships. Until next time, keep those connections strong